Hi, it's Mitch from PickDogs.com, and it is Saturday, May 27th, 2023, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We just keep showing up. No excuses, just free picks. And, of course, this show, as always, available on Spotify, iTunes, podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever. I don't even know all these different ones. I'm not a podcast listener, but we are available on all those called Picks from the Doghouse. So check it out there. Usually get some bonus on there because I forget to hit the stop record button. And you catch Rod and Chris and I talking about different things about who's going to sue us or whatever based upon what we just said on the show prior to that because, well, everyone knows I'm a name caller. But anyways, up first here today is going to be Rod. Rod, how's it going?
Going good, going good. Nice Saturday. Some great games going on in today's action. And yeah, we definitely do. If you tune into those podcasts, you definitely might get a little bonus action there as well.
Well, everyone knows I am from the great state of Florida, the hockey capital of the world. 4 years in a row, sending teams to the NHL finals. It is, kind of where the game was invented and where the game has now been dominated is the state of Florida. Way more often than Canada, that's for sure at this point. What do you think of this recent development where hockey world South?
Right, people forgot though that the Hockey World South is the Panthers. They won the President's Trophy last season, so 1 year off the President's Trophy now in the Stanley Cup final. We should have seen it coming.
We had the Lightning 3 years in a row in the finals from Florida. And now the Panthers making it 4 years in a row that a Florida team has represented in the finals. This is unprecedented, I would say.
And they just sitting back, relaxing, waiting for the watching these the other two teams beat each other up and going, all right, we get to kick the snot out of whoever's the tiredest. That's what I was looking there.
Well, speaking of kicking the snot, we're going to kick the snot out of the books today. What are you looking at for everybody?
Well, the first game we're gonna look at these Blue Jays here taking on the Twins. And you know what? I'm actually going to back the Blue Jays here. They haven't been the greatest team in the last week and a half or so after getting swept by the Orioles, losing the series 3-1 to the Rays. Now they're coming to here to Minnesota, where they like beating up on the Central team, 4-0 in their last four. And Bassett gets the start here for the Jays, and he's been pretty good over his last three. 1-1 with a .84 ERA. He's having a pretty good season, 5-3 with a 3 ERA over 62 innings of work this season. Team is 6-4 in his starts. On the other side of the mound, you're getting Lopez getting the start for the Twins here in this one, and I faded him early and often when he was with the Marlins, and now we get to fade him even more. He's definitely been sliced and diced up this season in a few games. 2-3 on the season with a 3.9 ERA. You look at him on the road, at home, 1-1 with a 5.25 ERA. Yikes. I'm going to go with the Jays here to continue to roll. They're 4-0 against the AL Central. 4-0 to that covering that run line as well. And you look at the Twins here, 10-23 in their last 33 versus a starter with a whip less than 1.15. They're also 1-6 in their last 7 versus a right-handed starter. And when it comes down to the bullpen, over the last 5 games, that Jays bullpen has stepped up a little bit, and they're definitely riding the hotter hand than these Twins. So let's go with the Jays, who are 6-3 in Game 2s, following up another win. So let's go with the Jays to get a back-to-back win here on Saturday, beating up the Twins again.
Of course, the Jays last place in the American League East coming into this one. And, Bassett has been outstanding. He was outstanding last year for the Mets, having to move into the number 1 spot in that rotation with 2 injuries ahead of him. So he was a number 3 that moved into a number 1, pitched really well in there. Of course, a couple of years ago in Oakland, he got hit in the face with a comebacker to the mound, got knocked out cold, missed the whole rest of the season on that one. So this guy is a great story and really good pitcher. I got to agree with you. I mean, if they can win with Kevin Gausman on the mound against the team, then they could win with basically anybody, man. Just put a pile of dog shit out there. Gausman, one of the most pathetic pitchers out there in all of baseball. I mean, this guy goes at like minus 190 and just gets his butt kicked on a regular basis. I mean, it's always one of those world of potential guys, right? I've built an extension onto my house of fading Kevin Gausman throughout my lifetime. This year has been no different. So I mean, if you could win with him, I think that the Twins might be in some trouble. Regressing certainly in an American League Central where
anybody can win that one.
Anybody. I mean, the White Sox are 9 games under 500. They're only 5 games back in the division.
Right?
I mean, that's how bad it is. And the Twins trading a rise. They don't have the bats now to get them across. And I think the Marlins, fleeced the Twins on that trade, and they knew what they were doing when they traded Lopez. They picked the guy that they felt was expendable. I mean, they had 15 pitchers there, and they're like, this is the guy that we'll get rid of. It's like, you got to figure. Wow. Anyways, I wonder what Gausman's numbers are like as far as betting numbers this year. He's got to be like minus 1,000.
Oh, it's got to be not good. Yeah,
terrible. When he wins, it's plus 100. When he loses, it's minus 190 or something.
190 or minus 2. I've seen it at minus 250.
Terrible.
I think that one game was like, ooh, I'm betting 2 times my money on Gausman. Yeah,
we've had entire morning shows dedicated to fading Kevin Gausman. He definitely fits in our straight ass column. But anyways, what do you got for us today?
Today, I got one more play for you quickly. We're gonna go to the WNBA. Nobody else touches on that. I'm gonna go with the as I touched on it yesterday on the drive-through. Quickly, we're gonna go with the Sparks here in Vegas. As me and Tony said, the Vegas Aces. Holy, do they always get so much love? Take the Los Angeles Sparks plus the 15.5 points you're getting with them. Vegas doesn't cover these numbers. They're like 0-14 or 0 and something at covering these big giant spreads. So take the Los Angeles Sparks and the WNBA to cover this massive number. Nice little bonus play for everybody there.
Of course, we don't talk about touching in WNBA. We're not going to get canceled here by anybody. Someone's going to misconstrue it, say whatever. We're going to say we're going to look at a game in the WNBA, and we're going to do it that way. So Rod didn't mean he was actually going to touch the WNBA. He was just going to
we were just looking.
Don't twist it.
Yes.
I know. We give you plenty else to work with. You don't need to twist the words.
No. Right, sorry, my bad. Wasn't trying to touch anybody. Wasn't trying to
not suggesting it.
Yeah, wasn't suggesting that. Not good. Keep your hands to yourself. Definitely, that's the better.
Had nothing to do with it. We're talking about the game. All right, Rod. What are you selling to Pick Dogs today?
And over at Pick Dogs today, I've got my top play on the board. My $20. MLB home run. You can scoop that up singly for $20, or I've got a nice 3-pack here. All the night games, which include my top play in the NHL, the NBA, and that $20 bookie buster home run included in that 3-pack. Head on over Pick Dogs Premium. Scoop it up. Gonna have a big day.
All right, Rod had to go first today. He normally is towards the back end of things, but hopefully you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a good one. Good luck with all your bets. Smash that thumbs button. Costs you nothing. Helps us a ton. Appreciate everybody. Good luck with all your bets today.
What was that? What are you mumbling about? What is that shit?
Smash that thumbs up.
Like, serious, man. That was like a big mumble ramble there. What the hell are you talking about? I think he said either he said smash the like button, or I think I'm going bass fishing tomorrow. Thanks, Rod, for joining us. What was that, man? It's like I never even saw that coming. Whew. Man, you learn new stuff on this show every day. Next up, we got Al McMordie. Al, I don't know. Any idea what Rod was talking about there?
It's early in the morning. I don't know.
It's like, I don't even know what the hell he even said. It's like, last I remember, he did get teeth, so I thought we were going to avoid this. How's it going now?
It's going well. I got no complaints. Big day for you. You get 2 more bites at the apple.
Well, I think, coming into this one, I know you're going to talk about this game, and a lot of people are saying, oh, the Heat are in trouble, and, oh, man, they've been playing bad recently, whatever. I'll tell you what, if anyone said the Heat were going to be up 3-0 in this series to start it out, nobody picked that, and I'm the most optimistic of optimistic, and I didn't say sweep. I didn't say they're going to be up 3-0. none of those things. I still, of course, the Heat's going to win the series. They're going to close it out tonight, but it's, that goes without saying. But I know Al disagrees. But
I mean,
maybe I can give him a chance to win some of his money back.
That's right. No, I mean, look, I mean, if we're being honest here, it's not a premium play for me, so I don't disagree, intensely. It's I've got a premium play on the total, but definitely not on the side. But given a choice between the two teams, I do favor Boston in this game, but I like them on the money line minus 145 as opposed to minus 3 points.
But there hasn't been any close games in this series one way or the other. And there hasn't been a lot of close games.
Not even in the playoffs. I know.
You can count on your one hand how many games where the points have factored. The Heat's closeout against the Knicks was one of them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I definitely
Denver
agree.
Lakers, there was
very few games.
One. Yeah. There was one in there. But not many others.
So that's usually the way the playoffs work. But I favor the Celtics today. It's home teams in a game 6 or a game 7 of a playoff series. They're now 3-19 ATS their last 22 when they're not favored by more than 4 points. Here, of course, Miami's a 3-point dog. Road favorites now 14-10 with a push ATS in elimination game since 1991. Including 11-6 ATS if they're a top 2 seed, and 8-2 ATS their last 10, regardless of seed. And then Boston in elimination games has been terrific over the years. 7-1 ATS its last 8. Boston's also 9-0 ATS its last 9 playoff games as a road favorite of 4 points or less. And then Miami, not very good as a home dog, Mitch. 3-6 ATS its last 9 in the playoffs. And Miami is 24-45 ATS versus Boston at home, including 5-11 ATS its last 16 as a home underdog. I mean, when you add it all up, I just like Boston minus $1.45.
I think you left out the keyest of key numbers there, and that is
Eric Spoelstra.
106 and 68 in playoff games. And I'm telling you, he's been a dog probably in more than half of them. So I think I certainly like my chances here with my Heat, and I like them at home, and I like the fact that they haven't played that well the last 2 games, kind of got it out of their system. We saw Boston, play poorly in a few games as well. But I think when the Heat play their best game and Boston plays their best game, the Heat have won those games. And I think that, the Heat will win this one too. They are the better team. They have the better coach, and they have the better players, and they have a lot more heart and a lot more guts. And I think on the road, when things start going bad and you don't have a team leader, you're in deep, deep doo-doo.
Yep. I mean, I think what the Heat have going for them is back-to-back blowout losses. That's the strongest thing in their favor. And Eric Spoelstra is coach, one of the top 3 coaches in the game. So that's on the Heat side for sure.
I think that he has what it takes here. And I think, having Vincent back in, having, Jimmy Butler at home, having that home crowd, I think it's going to be way too much. I think the Celtics have shown at least some pride after getting blown out in game 3 in Miami, where it looked like they were on the brink of a sweep. The Heat were actually favored for the first time in the series in game 4. They'd lost that game. So, being favored or dog hasn't really had much effect on the Heat. They were, dogs in every game against the Bucks. They won, they beat them up 4-1 in that series. And the one game that Giannis, when Giannis didn't play is when they lost.
Then they lose by 16, right?
Yeah. So it's like, it hasn't made a lot of sense for them. I just like the Heat, and I just think as hard as it is to win 4 in a row, it's as hard just to win 4 in a row the other way around.
It's hard to win 4 out of 7. I mean, it's just hard.
Well, it's hard to win 4 out of 7, but it's even harder to win 4 in a row.
Oh, sure. But at the end of the day, at this point, Boston just needs to win 2 in a row, and Miami just needs to win 1 out of the next 2, and that's really the only thing that matters.
I got the Heat -5 at plus 255 odds in this one personally. So that's where I'm at. So, all right, Al, what are you selling today? We're obviously not. I'm not going to talk him off the Celtics here.
No, like I said, my big play is the total. So, I'm 17-5 my last 22 or 16-5-1, depending on lines. Last 22 NBA. Currently on an 8-0 run overall across all sports.
How many of those 5 are the Heat?
How many of those
losses
5 are the
we're
Heat?
Going against the Heat?
My guess is
all of them.
2.
I'm gonna guess all of them.
No, my guess is 2.
I'm gonna say all of them.
No, it was 2.
Right.
Because I had I think I had some totals in there as well, and one Lakers.
You didn't have the Bucks.
Oh, this is 17 and
no, it goes
5.
further back.
This is further. Yeah, this is yeah.
Right. You're out
so
of the woods. What's your record in Heat games? This
not good. Definitely not good.
Worse than Jay Briggs.
I don't know. Maybe identical.
Because Briggs has gone against the Heat in every single playoff game. So they went 4-1 against the Bucks, 4-2 against the Knicks. They're up 3-2 here. So I mean, it's easy to figure out his record in this, right? He's 1-4, and then he was 1-4, then 2-4. So it makes him 3-8, and now he's 3-2. So he's 5-11 in the playoffs in Heat games.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't pick every game, so I wouldn't.
Well, Jay does, and he goes against the Heat and all of them. He takes the Mavericks and he goes against the Heat.
Yeah, so it's kind of like does that go back to the Dallas-Miami playoff rivalry? Is that what he's doing, where he just can't stand the Heat after they,
I think it goes to the regular season where they couldn't cover anything.
Right. Yeah, they flipped the switch in the playoffs. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I've got my NBA Conference Finals total of the year today. I've got my USFL play. It's a totals play. I'm 86% on USFL totals last 2 seasons or since the league was founded. And then I've got baseball as well. So 3 plays up at Pick Dogs Premium right now.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us as always, Al. We'll see you tomorrow celebrating talking about that Nuggets Heat finals and game 1 in Denver on Thursday night. Anyways.
Good luck.
Always fun to talk to Al. I tell you what, I think Al's one of the best handicappers out there, but it's always fun to be on the other side. It's like I enjoy doing the show, not just to be on the other side of people, but in general, I like to it's fun to have a little debate and discussion. But anyways, bring in our next guest, and anyone want to go next, raise your hand quick. If not, I'm going to randomly take you. Al Ninos, what's happening?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing, Mitch?
I'm doing good. I'm going to have to turn it right over to you for your pick because I got someone at the door.
All right, you go.
What do you got?
We'll be looking
we'll
at.
Come back to the other banter in just a second.
All right, I'll try to delay this as long as I can. So we'll be looking at the Atlanta Braves taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Charlie Morton will be starting for the Braves, coming in having a pretty up and down season, mixed result throughout. He has a 3.61 ERA, but a pretty high WHIP, 1.41, and I really like the Braves lineup a lot better than the Phillies. Now the Phillies obviously do have some pretty good hitters in there, and Bryce Harper's done pretty well against Morton in the past. So one of the reasons kind of kept me off making this one a premium is the fact that the Phillies actually have slightly better numbers against Morton than the Braves do against Wheeler, who again has had pretty mixed season. We've seen him have some pretty good outings and some not so good ones. But again, he has pretty good numbers against this Atlanta lineup, and so it's hard to be interesting to see if he can keep those numbers up. But I do think that again, not coming in the best of forms of Wheeler here, so I do think that the Braves can get to him a little bit, and as many good hitters as the Phillies have, this Braves lineup is just the deeper lineup from top to bottom, and that's what gives me the biggest edge here is how they just won't give Wheeler a break 1 through 9. They're going to keep coming at him, so I like the Braves to get the job done at home tonight. Today.
I love fading me some Zach Wheeler. I don't really care about the circumstances. The bigger the odds on Wheeler, the better as far as I'm concerned, just whatever kind of value. And it's like I've reverse run line against this guy. Generally, though, you do get into some tight games. He's the type of guy that even when he pitches well, it's like he gets into like that 7th inning, gives up 1 run and loses 1-0. Just he's had that type of career. I mean, there's certain guys that are just like that. And I think Wheeler is like that. But, I like I said, I think the Braves are just the better team here. The Braves generally are slow starters, but normally they're after the All-Star break team. They pick it up, and the Phillies last year were terrible up until the last 2 months of the season. They rode it all the way to the World Series. I'm with you though. I'm with you on the Braves.
Yeah, and I'd wait till closer to the game starting here because I've seen some money coming in on the Phillies, and I think we'll just get a better price as the day goes on. Now, if you do see again that number getting worse for the Braves, make sure you jump on it right away. But again, it looks like we'll be getting a better price closer to 4 p.m., which is when the game starts.
All right. What do you got for sale today at Pick Dogs?
Got a 3-pack, 2 MLB, and my best bet in tonight's Game 6 and the NBA. Got my MLB Grand Slam, which is on 3-1 run if you want to check that out. And again, got all those plays individually if you're just looking for one play at a time. But again, grab that 3-pack or long-term 2-for-1 capper pass. Doubtfully is a better deal.
All right, Al, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, have a good one.
All right, that was Al Ninos. Next up, got Wayne. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Mitch?
Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while on the show. So how's things going?
Everything's going good, man. Just chuckling with you, messing with Rod earlier, man. You guys tickle me.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about, man. It's like if I don't understand it, I can't imagine how anyone watching can understand it. But one of the things that Jay Briggs and I have been talking about is we're sitting here waiting with bated breath for these tickets to go on sale for Spence against Crawford. The thing is Spence going to be able to go to the ring? I mean, this is one of those things where it's like you're going to plan a whole trip out to Vegas and a whole everything, and then it's like, is he going to not be able to make it? Are they going to delay the fight and all that stuff? You kind of have to watch out for it. Once these guys get into this sort of thing, oh, man, it's like that's the problem with boxing. As most people know, I have one of my very best friends was Manny Pacquiao's bodyguard, and he always said, he works at the Wild Card Gym. He works with Freddie, and he always says, and Freddie says the same thing, it's the craziest thing in the world because you're never sure if the fight's actually going to go until both guys are standing in the ring. And even then, you're not 100% sure that it's really going to happen. He's like, man, that's how crazy these things and how loosely it's held together.
This is my first time hearing something like that. So that's very interesting. I didn't know it was that hard, for these mega fights, it makes sense.
Well, think about it. Pacquiao Mayweather, right? So Pacquiao Mayweather, which took years to put together, right? 8 years to put the fight together. Manny's in the dressing room. They're supposed to give him a cortisone shot before the fight, right? Then they say, we're not going to give you the shot, right? That it's against things. They make the decision in the locker room before the fight, the Nevada Athletic Commission. Pacquiao could have easily said, fine, then I can't go, right? I mean, it's
crazy. Yeah,
right? With an arena full of people, people paying, $8,000-$10,000, a seat.
Yeah, why wouldn't you kind of get that confirmed beforehand? Though?
Well, it was confirmed.
And then they just changed. Okay,
it changed at the last second.
That's
but
crazy.
These are types of things that you see all the time. I mean, I in boxing, it's one of those crazy things where it's like you're never quite sure what's going to happen until they actually get into the ring. And when you walk into the arena in Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, it's like this. The fighters and the trainers and everybody on the way in and the way out, we're all going through the same entrance and the same exit, which is crazy. Like you're walking out and it's like, hey, isn't that Julio Cesar Chavez next to me? It's like people are stopping for the pictures, It's like, it's crazy, man.
But, let me know about them tickets, Mitch. I definitely try to make sure I got all my ducks in a row to get down there. If you're planning on going to the fight, I'm interested.
Oh, we're absolutely planning on going. I don't know what the prices are, and
they're gonna be outrageous. But I'm ready. I get it. My ducks in a row.
Well, I try to avoid the nose of nosebleeds, but I usually will get the next ones down unless I have an inside contact that can get me reasonable seats. But I'm not paying $8,000-$10,000 for a ticket for a fight. Yeah. I did that for the Pacquiao Mayweather. And I say to that, never again, man.
Pay-per-view next time at best.
No, I would go to the fight, but I would wait till the last second to get my tickets. I waited pretty long. I waited. I still got considerably a good lesser than face value on the tickets, but they were still way too high for what it was. But I think in general, I've always been able to do well, but tickets have gotten crazy over the years. But it's like, I know at T-Mobile, you don't need to be right on top of it, but it's like you don't want to be all the way up. But it's like if you could be maybe the next level is okay, good enough. You can see from everywhere. I know that.
You got an early lean, Mitch? Do you keep up with them too? Have you seen?
If Spence is healthy, I like Spence. If he's not 100%, then I got to go with Crawford. But I think that Spence is the better fighter, and I think he just comes across bigger and stronger.
Definitely
to me. And it's like I think there's a reason when you have a guy. I always hate the guys that will only fight in their place. And Crawford has done that the bulk of his career. I'll only fight in like Omaha, Nebraska or something. It's like, I hate that, because there was a guy named Virgil. Oh man, what was his name? Cruiserweight Olympian, Virgil something. He only fought out of Bismarck, North Dakota, and he went out of Bismarck and he got out on his ass is what happened to him. Go out of Bismarck.
That's interesting, man. I didn't even think about that, but you're very right. Like
there's certain guys, they only fight in their own building. They'll only fight in their own building. It's like, well, it's like the big fights are in Vegas, and it's like if you want to be on the center stage and you want to be considered in those in that realm, then you need to fight on that big stage, and that's where the big money, big fights are. You can't expect these guys to come into your backyard every single time. I mean, if you win the first one and your rematch clause says, well, then you got to come back to Nebraska, well, that's one thing. But it's like, you can't expect these guys to consistently go in, and that's what you're not going to attract the highest level of competition that way. Also, as a top ranked fighter, they dodge the big guys too. I know that.
That's very true.
But Crawford's great. I mean, it's finally good to see that he fights somebody. I think I would like to have seen a few years ago.
True. Would have been a better fight just before Spence and the accident. But hey, we here now, and I think both of them are still in their prime though. Still got a lot to give, so it's gonna be a firefight.
But I like Spence early here. I just think that he has fought better opponents too.
Leaning with you, man. I mean, anytime you get thrown out of Ferrari and you fight in the same year, man, I think Crawford's kind of going against Superman.
Crawford's pretty tough too. I mean, he's tough too. It's hard to always tell when you're fighting at Omaha, Nebraska every single time. It's going to be a little different story at T-Mobile, that's for sure.
We definitely know Spencer went across seas and all over the place to grab all these belts. He calls it strap season. He's literally went everywhere to become the A side and take Crawford out of that comfort zone. And I'm loving to see what's about to happen.
I'm going to take a look at Crawford real quick here and see exactly where he's been fighting at. Let's see. So he fought Sean Porter in Mandalay. He fought Kell Brook in the bubble at MGM, and he fought Cal Velasquez at Madison Square Garden. Amir Khan is done at this point.
Yeah. Even that Kell Brook fight, when Spence fought Kell Brook, that was for a belt, and he went to Kell Brook's hometown. So it was like a completely different atmosphere, completely different fight, completely different Kell Brook. So it was like,
yeah, and I mean Jeff Horn at MGM. So he hasn't fought at T-Mobile yet. I actually can't stand Mandalay to watch fights. To me, that's the worst place. But anyways,
let me get to this pick, Mitch. You good?
Yeah, good, yeah.
All right, I'm going to the game between San Fran and the Brewers, man. And unless I'm tripping, man, I'm going with the Brewers here. I mean, not the Brewers. I'm going with San Fran with the plus money. They're 26-25 on the season. They're 11-14 on the road, but they're 9-7 on the road when they're road dogs. They're 8-2 in their last 10. This Brewers team, they're 15-11 at home, but they're 4-6 in their last 10. I see the money coming in on the Brewers. I know a lot of people are probably thinking Brewers are down 0-2. They're trying to avoid the sweep. They're at home. They got their ace on the mound, Corbin Burns. But Corbin Burns hasn't been looking like an ace to me lately. I know a lot of people are hoping they get the old Corbin Burns, but I'm not banking on that. I think if you're taking the Bruins today, you're going to get what you asked for, and you're going to get burned. Corbin Burns is throwing a 3.9 ERA on the season, 4.7 ERA at home, and 1.4 whip. And the night games, a 2.7 whip and 2.7 ERA and a 1.3 whip. Not going to cut it. On the other side, we got Logan Webb on the mound. This guy's been throwing straight heat rock lately. He shut out Miami the last time he was out. He has a 2.7 ERA on the road and a 1.1 whip. In his last 3, he has 0.9. To me, San Fran has a better pitching matchup, more consistent bats. Even on the bullpen, and you're giving me plus money in this situation, man, give me San Fran here.
With you, I took the Giants last night with a premium pick. I like the Giants again here too. They're playing really, really well right now. They're on top of their game. They're just really timely hitting, and I think when you see them just rack up Freddie Peralta like that, it's like, they're going to be able to get, because he's this high strikeout guy, and the Brewers are in trouble here. I think that this is what we've seen from the Brewers in last year too, where it's like they have a good roster of pitchers, but now with Woodruff out, they're not the same. And then, their batting order just has too many holes. And now without Adames, who got hit with the foul ball into the dugout, I think got hit in the face. He's out as well. So the Brewers, a little bit taken back, where they're not a team that can really afford that. I think they need a couple, actually they needed a couple bats before that. So I think they're in trouble. I'm with you in this one. And of course, Colin Ray, I look forward to tomorrow.
Why do you think some of the money's coming on the Brewers, Mitch? You think just because of starting pitcher? Or,
because of Burns,
Yeah. Okay.
Also because they lost yesterday. But the thing is, without Adames, it's like, I don't know. Maybe people aren't seeing it. I have no idea.
Them bats just aren't there. And 3-7 in the last 10 versus San Fran. San Fran just had their number too. So there's a lot of reasons I'd rather take the dog in this spot.
I'm not as big a follower on the money as a lot of these people are.
I just seen the line movement open at 105. Now they play even, and Brewers open at 115, 120. No crazy line movement, but it is moving in the Brewers' favor.
And look at Spence. 3 fights at AT&T Stadium, Staples Center, Barclays in Brooklyn. So Spence hasn't fought in Vegas in a while either, since 2015.
Yeah, he loves his Texas fights. If he can get them at Texas at Jerry Jones Worlds, he loves them. But like you said, man, he's one of those fighters who'll go anywhere. It's not about that. It's really about his legacy. I love them legacy fighters who just aren't scared.
So this fight, the reason why tickets aren't on sale yet, this fight has not been approved by the Las Vegas Commission yet.
I don't like hearing that.
Well, it's usually a formality, and it's always a money thing, as like anything else. But anyways, what do you got going on at Pick Dogs today?
I got my best bet in all the sports today out there for sale. That means I got one in the MLB, one in the NBA, and one in the NHL game today. And I have a 3-pack with all 3 of those mixed up. So get anything you want today, I got you.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Wayne, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, appreciate you.
Keep an eye on those. I'll be keeping an eye on those tickets together.
Please do.
All right, that was Wayne Scott. Up next, we've got Eric, new to Pick Dogs. Eric, how's it going?
Just enjoying my first coffee of the day. Nice to meet everybody here on the channel.
All right. Well,
are you a good coffee guy, Mitch, or are you an espresso guy?
I'm a coffee guy, and in fact, I get my coffee sent to me. This is the first time anyone's ever asked me this, but Hawaii, everyone claims the Hawaii coffee is the best coffee and all that stuff. I gotta say, too dark and oily, not my type for me. So I like I get my coffee from a place in Chicago called Intelligentsia, and they send me a 5-pound bag once a month. I have the auto ship, set up. I get 5 pounds of Black Cat, not the not the organic, fancy one or whatever, just the regular Black Cat. And I get them.
Maybe we can make them a sponsor.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. I get the 5-pound bag shipped to me. I'm on auto ship, and they send it to me. It's perfect timing. I go through that amount, and I'm on the auto ship I lived in Chicago for a long time. I loved Intelligentsia, and when I left, I just signed up for auto ship, and they've been auto shipping ever since.
I love it. Like I said, I got a bag right here.
I'm what you call an easy customer for them. They're low maintenance, and it's just I don't switch brands. I don't switch anything. I don't even switch credit cards. They just keep going. I make sure, like, if my credit cards, and your credit card's expiring, it's like you have to update accounts. It's like that's like the first one on my list, because I know it's there. So it's like that's the one you don't want to mess up. It's like, where's my coffee?
Every morning, I figured I'd wait to have my first coffee when I came right on the air with you live. So I was sitting here jonesing, hoping it didn't get cold. It stayed hot.
I have the Technivorm 471 with my Intelligentsia. I don't mess around when it comes to it.
I love it. I have the 3 C's in my life: coffee, cigars, cycling. Actually, it's coffee, cycling, cigars.
Nice. I used to be a cigar smoker, but I've kind of let go of that over the years. I smoked cigarettes too, and when I quit cigarettes, it made it hard to stay quit. When I smoked, I smoked cigars at first. I just found it a little tough.
100%. I agree.
I'm not saying I would never smoke a cigar again. I'm just saying.
No, I get it.
I'm just saying that it's hard.
When I'm on the bike and I'm dying, I say to myself, well, at least I can finish with a fine cigar.
Yeah, that's what I say. Believe me, get me to, I talk.
And you're looking good, man. After that injury, you're looking all healed up.
I'm coming back. My memory is not what it was. And I still have a good scar going right here, but other than that, it's a little bit of dental work, and we're getting there. So
have you gone back out on the blades or no?
No, I'm retired. I'm back on the Nordic track, the cross country ski machine, and going for morning walks with the dog. So gonna have to just admit it. I'm old and go from there. But I certainly thank the people that made my helmet. I don't remember the name of the brand, but it was one of those really expensive, fancy ones, and I'm way glad that I got that. But like I said, my memory isn't quite the same that it was. I'm hoping that it comes back. And the doctors, well, they say, whatever, it'll, we'll deal with it. Sometimes it takes a while. But anyways, new to the site, not new to the sports betting world. You're not really a handicapper or a game picker, which is different from anyone that we've had on our site. Which I'm always looking for different people. I thought that we had a pretty full roster, and I think of people, but normally people, I get emails every day. People want to join the site, and I tell them, well, my roster's full. But if I have someone that's different, and I always say to them the same thing. If you have something that we don't have, and studying lines and finding value isn't something that we don't have,
Right.
But if you have something that we don't have, we're interested. So explain this to our audience exactly what you do. It's like you've been in the industry forever, right? It's like you're a dinosaur in the industry, more so than I am, more so than like years. Big Al dinosaur-ish,
Right, correct.
So,
exactly.
Right. So it's like, but you, through all these years, learning the handicapping and the style handicapping, also, you have some knowledge of this, right? So you understand it all, but it's not your thing. Your thing is, I know these guys that do all the heavy lifting, that have the track records, that find all these things. I just go
in the true sense of a business, you delegate responsibility to people that are specialists in what they actually do. So I got in this business, believe it or not, when I was 15 years old. I'm 50, so 35 straight years doing nothing else. And I came up under a gentleman who's no longer alive, Larry Duke. And he basically was a horse handicapper, because we're based in Baltimore, Maryland. We're about 5 minutes from Pimlico Racetrack, where they run the Preakness. So the traditional world of handicapping is usually applied to horses first. And he was a lines maker, and he used to make lines. and rely on very large betting groups to move the money pre-internet. So you hear about like the computer group. If you Google the computer group in early 80s, people taking down Vegas for millions of dollars, the original life story of Billy Walters, et cetera, all these major betting groups, what they would do is they would make their own line against the line that was only available in the paper, not on a screen. So what he did is, instead of trying to handicap, he wanted to know where these major betting groups were actually moving their money. And you figured, why recreate the wheel? Opinions are like, you know what, everybody has them. Why recreate the wheel? So he developed a network around the country of all these major betting groups that when they would make their lines and make their plays, he would get that information. And we started selling that information as advice, as what you call picks. But we were never claiming to actually be the actual handicappers. Now, obviously, being immersed in the business, I have a lot of handicapping knowledge. I can talk ERAs and stats and trends with the best of them. But in the reality of the situation, like for instance, this week, our new product that I launched on your site, the Dime Club Telegram channel, we're up 9.87 units for the week. Well,
right. So the difference between the Dime Club, though, which is you can't compare it to our regular product. And
correct.
I bet, like, the picks that I put out as my premium picks and our handicapper, I bet those picks. Okay. Everyone knows I don't just bet them, I bet them degeneratively. Now, Dave Miller and I will argue about what's a degenerate gambler or whatever. He claims that I can't be a degenerate and a value better at the same time. And I want that degenerate tag. He thinks that I'm not as square as I claim to be. And we'll continue to argue that till the cows come home.
I've had those arguments with him as well.
We're going to argue it live this week because I want everyone to get involved with it, and with Micah as well. But the Dime Club, the unfair advantage that it has over the other picks, if you're going apples to apples, which it is not an apples to apples product, and that's why it is done differently, is because the Dime Club is based on late information, while the regular premium picks, we have to get these in by 12 o'clock or earlier.
I already posted.
Yeah, we all do.
Because
that's the format of the product, because we have a global audience. We have different people. We have some people that need to go to the casino to bet. So they need to be able to get those picks early, and they need to know, hey, 12 o'clock rolls around, all of my picks are in for the day. Right. I'm locked in. These are the picks. There's not going to be this pick at 6 o'clock at night that I missed. There's not going to be these things at 12 o'clock. I'm good. But with the Dime Club, you're expecting the pick late because, or at least close to game time on Saturdays, I'm going to guess on college football or something. It could be a little earlier. So, there might be more than one, right?
We'll get to that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the Dime Club is a different product. And the other thing about the Dime Club is that this is not for everybody. Right. I always say that Pick Dogs is for everybody, and we have something for everybody. We have free picks. We have our YouTube channel. We have premium picks. We have reasonably priced. We have $19 picks. We have the consensus report. We've got our, like I said, our YouTube channel, thousands of videos, way more than everybody else. Free picks on the website, betting tools on Sports Chat Plays, free picks on Sports Chat Plays. We have betting instruction coming up, so on and so forth. But this is our first really higher end product. Right. And this is a higher end product for people with larger bankrolls.
Right. And because basically my motto is always, if you want to be the 1% that actually makes consistent money as a living, where you have this is not fun, this is your job. The correlate, and I did that on today's video, which you'll post later, is I always say my motto for 35 years, to be part of the 1% club, you should only risk 1% of your bankroll. So the way guys like Dave Miller play is if they're betting $1,000 a game, they're working off $100,000 bankroll. Now, you and I both know most people are opening up a legal account or they're dealing with offshore or whatever, and they're not betting 1% of their bankroll. They could be betting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% degenerate style.
Hey,
trust me. And listen,
I've been sitting at the sports book with a stack of tickets and not a penny in my pocket to even tip the waitress, and just a box of Cheez-Its that was left over in my hotel room.
Exactly.
I've been there. I'm not proud of it, but I admit it.
But look, there's also that excitement, dopamine, enjoyable factor of betting, not just the ROI investment side of it. So with the Dime Club, it can be very boring. I always say, like, the guys that win the most are what I call boring bettors, right? So they don't play every game. Like, for instance, my premium play, I already posted it. It's my early play. I posted it at 9:45. I have algorithms and I have all these quant guys behind the scenes. The best play of the day. Hey, we put it out there. Hopefully it wins. But yesterday was a perfect example. My premium play of the day was Oakland plus 1.5. It lost 5-2. But right around 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we got word from our group that specializes only in totals. We put that out on the Telegram channel, 3-0. Then we got a word from a group that only does sides. We put that out on the Telegram channel, 1-1. But because they were underdogs, you actually scalped a little bit of money. So I go 0-1 on the premium channel. If you purchase that, I'm sorry, you have your guarantee to use anywhere you want if you don't want to use it with me, as you know. But we wound up going 4-1 for the day on our Telegram channel.
Oh, exactly. It's, and it's not going to win every game. It's not, and we're going to talk more about this with Dave and Mike and with Eric, on these shows over time. Maybe even on some live shows later on dedicated to this sort of thing. But we're going to start talking more about the long game, because I get the emails, I get the things. I hate losing. I mean, I am a bad loser. And you could ask anyone that works with me behind the scenes as part of our tech team or part of our other team. When I had a losing day, you don't even want to be around me at the team meeting. So everyone's saying, I hope Mitch wins on Tuesday. So our Wednesday morning meeting, is going to be okay. But the thing is that if you have the right strategy and you continue to stick with it over the long haul, you're going to win. And that's why when you hear Dave Miller say, I lost $100,000 in a day and I didn't even bat an eyelash, because I know, I'm going to hit, over time, I'm going to win.
What's interesting is being in this business, and I don't have any other job. This is not like this is all I do.
That's most of our guys.
Right. I'm a one-trick pony, right? Same office, same location since I'm 15. Here's what's interesting from.
So does that mean you live in your mom's basement?
Yeah, right, exactly. My mom's basement. I'm actually at home right now, but future videos you'll see me at the office. March 11th, 2020 to July 26th, 2020. No U.S. sports due to COVID, right? So I'm sitting here for the first time in my life like, what is going on? Like, wow.
That was all of us.
Right. But here's what was interesting from a professional wise guy point of view, syndicate betting group, analytical quant, not handicapper, not fan. Took them about 48 hours to retool the machine, so to speak. Nicaraguan soccer, Chinese baseball, Taiwan KBO, Belarus soccer. We didn't miss a beat. And the clients were like, I don't understand how you don't follow this. You don't watch this. And I go, it's numbers. These guys, these guys that are actually putting up they're not even fans.
Of course. That's the whole thing. Like Dave Miller, he couldn't name, 10 college basketball players.
My son, the reason why I'm at my house, the pool opens today. So my son's upstairs getting ready for the pool. He's 18 years old. He can out-talk me on stats, trends, players. We talk. I mean, literally, it's a joke. He laughs at me. He's like, oh, by the way, my son, you're going to love this. He loves Miami to win the whole thing. A lot of people are on Denver. Again, I'm not a capper, but just since you're a Miami guy, you're down in, you love Miami. You're backing Miami. A lot of people in my office have been going back and forth with Junior, saying he's crazy. Obviously, Denver's minus 280 to win the whole thing if they play Miami on the futures ticket. I'm not being partial. I would just say that I kind of see the value in Miami because I agree with you. They either win today or they win Game 7. I don't see Boston. Again, we could both be wrong, obviously. I don't see Boston coming back.
All right. Well, we got to get to today's pick. We got other people that come on the show.
Sorry about that.
We'll have you back, much more often on the show. And of course, we can do a whole show just talking about this stuff as well. But anyways, let's get to your pick for today. And this is what everybody wants to hear. But anyways, this is Eric. It's a good introduction to him, and he'll have plenty more to say. Obviously, Eric could probably do a 24-hour broadcasting network with himself. We'll put him with some of our other guys, maybe with Mike Davis or something.
Just need a lot of coffee.
All right.
I am in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm coming with Kramer. We lost yesterday 12-2. I don't expect him losing this game. Cheap price, 20 cents. Take Baltimore. They're the most profitable team in all of baseball to date, last year as well as this year. I'm rolling with Kramer at 405 East.
All right. The thing about the Orioles, second best record, and the reason why that they've had the second best record is not because they win every game. It's because they don't lose back-to-back games, and that has been the thing with the Orioles. I think it's 8 in a row coming off of a loss that they've been able to come back with a win, and that is the whole thing, is that you're not going to win them all, but if you can avoid stringing together those losses, going to end up pretty good. But anyways, Eric, one more pitch here for the Dime Club, or
if you guys, a lot of people have been asking if they want access to the records, they can send me a text message. If you want me to give out the number, I'll send them all the records because they're not posted on the site. It's 775-636-7676. They can just send a text message, results. As you know, are aware of all the results in the Telegram channel. I'll just send them a spreadsheet of all the results till we figure out how to get the results up on the site like the rest of all the products you haven't picked up.
You can find out more about the Dime Club. Click on the Premium Picks tab. We've got the phone number there. We've got the phone number all over the website, and we got a video there where I talk about exactly what it is, which is pretty much what we just said here. But anyways, Eric, welcome to our crew. Hopefully you're back tomorrow. We do this every day, so are on the weekends, and then we have an evening show. Plus, we could also add you to some of our other shows if that's
awesome.
What you choose to do.
And anyways, I do have one Pathi's play of the day online as well, and it's a late dog available online. One game.
How much?
$99 with the guarantee, 3-day guarantee.
Oh, so it's part of the 3-day package.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks.
You got
Eric.
it, buddy.
We'll see you soon. That was Eric. Obviously, tried to go into the filibuster. We slowed him down a little bit there. But we'll bring on Jay Briggs, who's been very patient back there. Jay, how's it going? I don't think you expected the Eric filibuster there, but at the same time, I think that Eric had some pretty good information. It was fun to hear that stuff. I don't get to hear it all. And it's like, I own the website. So, a lot of different people involved now. I got so many, things have gotten so big. I have people that advise me on certain things and just help me kind of everyone stays in their lane. So I knew we had the Dime Club. I understand a good portion of it, but when people call the number for the Dime Club, they're not calling me because I'm not exactly sure of that. I have access to the information from it, but it's like, I got 10 million other things going on too, but I'm interested. They're making money. I'm interested.
For sure. I was listening. He fading my Rangers. He faded them yesterday. He fading them today. I'm not really mad at him today, though. He got Heaney on the mound. Y'all know how I feel about it.
I thought the Rangers yesterday, they're not going to hit. They hit.
Hey, man. I've been beating the table all season telling y'all the Rangers are back. Y'all better watch out.
I've been on it. So
yeah, I know. But today, Heaney on the mound.
I've been fading my Heat like no one's business. So got two-game winning streak going on right now. Longest streak in a while.
I know. That was my favorite spot in the regular season. That's what it was. And there is some hate. Now, you and Big Al were talking earlier. There is a little bit of hate there from 2006 and when they robbed us. But,
Well, we had the big discussion with Wayne about Spence and Crawford. I like I said, I always believe it when I see it when they get into the ring. That's why I'm not big on scalping tickets for boxing unless you're scalping them right outside the arena or, the day of on, the normal ticket scalping sites. It's because I never believed that the fight's going to actually happen until they get into the ring. How many times do we see it in the UFC where they cancel the fight, the day of,
Yep.
and it's the head. They don't care if it's the headliner or not. The show goes on. So,
Yes, sir.
In this one, I certainly hope it goes, and I'll certainly be there with you.
Me too, man. This is going to be one of those ones. I think this is going to be one of the ones that, my generation, we talk about till, we're gone. I think this is one of those level fights. And, Spence from the Dallas area, I followed him from a long time. This is the one. This is the one. And I'm excited.
It's the one until there's the next one is the way it generally works with this sort of thing.
For sure.
There'll be others for sure. It is a loaded division. So
it is. Boxing, I will say, man, I think this is the most exciting year of boxing by far. And I'm excited for the future of boxing as well.
Yeah, I thought that Davis body punch, was kind of an uneventful finish to that other fight, but I think it leads to a brighter, future. Sometimes that happens. Anyways, what do you got cooking for us today?
Today. Hockey, man. Nobody was talking hockey today, so I'm gonna go hockey. And I'm going hometown hero, man. I'm taking the Stars on the money line, as I do think this series is not as over as many people think, man. The Stars, every time they get punched in the mouth, man, they love to respond. That's been the attribute of this Stars team this season, to bounce back. Got down early in that last one, got the power play, put the goal in, and then from there got down again. And then just the resilience of this team. I think they go to Vegas today and shock the world and send this thing back to Dallas. I think these two teams are very close than I think most people think. I think these two teams are very evenly matched. And I think as a whole, I think Dallas steps up defensively today. I think that's where they were lacking in those first few games. I think defensively is where they step it up. And I trust the offense to continue to do what it did in that last game, be scrappy. Vegas kind of controlled that third period, in my opinion, but Dallas still found a way to hang in there. And in overtime, they got their overtime woes off their back, because they've really struggled in overtime in the postseason. But I expect them to get this one done today. Getting plus money, I think, is a good place to be, man. Give me the Stars on the money line.
Well, the cards are definitely stacked against the Stars in this one. It's going to be a tough hurdle to climb to get to the NHL finals, take on the Panthers, another Florida team. Of course, the capital of hockey, 4 years in a row, sending a team to the finals, state of Florida.
Yeah, Florida has been, producing some good hockey recently. This year is kind of crazy. You wouldn't think of any of these places as, hockey towns, but, the Stars, they've definitely got me way more interested in hockey this season, and I don't think their season ends today.
We'll find out soon. What do you got going on at Pick Dogs today?
Yes, sir. I have my NBA Jam Session play, my favorite play in the NBA today. Game 6 should be a really good game. I think it's going to be, probably the best game of the series.
You got hammered in the comments. It was just didn't even let you finish.
Yeah, I know. But I also think I have my MLB play of the day as well up there, and I have those two plays in a 3-pack with another play, so you can scoop all that up over at Pick Dogs Premium.
Wow. What kind of homer non-handicapping analysis was that? We're all guilty. We've all done that before, I mean, Eric's talking about betting Chinese baseball over here. It's like, no, we don't have a gambling problem. What the hell are you talking about? It's like we're betting Nicaraguan soccer and Chinese baseball. Yeah, and you don't have a problem. Like, yeah, okay.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that, man.
All right, Jay. We'll see you tomorrow, and of course, looking forward to your NBA final jam session for Thursday's Heat Nuggets game. Thanks for joining us.
I'll see y'all on Monday night or Monday morning.
All right. No, you won't. It'll be Thursday. Anyways, last but not least, we've got Chris Ruffolo on the board. Chris has gone to the pink lighting to the background as opposed to the blue he was using all week. Lighter approach to him, and kinder, gentler Ruffolo. Been touching the WNBA like Rod said earlier. I don't know where the hell that came from.
Sounded like the Tasmanian devil. Yeah, he sounded like the Tasmanian devil.
It's like, I better telling me to get some live bait before I head home. Is that what you're telling me? It's like,
yeah, I think he was rolling with the Tasmanian devil thing a little too long, but yeah, no, I decided to switch it up today. The pink lighting, I needed a little bit of a soft, like you said, softer approach to today's action.
Crazy bastard. Anyways, how's it going over at Pick Dogs?
Doing all right. Had a great day yesterday. Looking to carry it forward into today. He said some great action on the board today.
It's been a good month for you overall. I know you had a couple of rough days there, and then yesterday bounce back day. Yeah,
it was a little bit tough. Sometimes you see the board a little bit clearly than others, but great week, and just looking forward to the next couple of months, just honing in on baseball, and then all of a sudden we'll blink, and all of a sudden college football will be back. So I'm excited for it.
What do you got for everybody today?
Today, I'm going to go to the NL Central. I'm going to look at this matchup between the Cubs and the Reds, and I'm just not understanding the love for Jameson Taillon. I mean, this is a guy that was an outcast from the Yankees, chose to go to Wrigley. Last year, again, he's a 14-game winner, a sub-4 ERA. This season, 0-3, an 8.10 ERA, across 7 starts, while the Cubs as a team 0-7 in Taillon starts this year, giving up at least 3 runs in 6 of his 7 starts. But the thing for me is that, he wasn't terrible in April, but he had a stint on the injured list, comes back, and in 4 starts in the month of May, a 12.08 ERA, not going to get it done. Now, Brandon Williamson, this is a guy, a prospect, top 10 prospect from the Reds organization, a 5-pitch pitcher, relies a lot on a lot of off-speed stuff, and I think he could have some success here against the Chicago Cubs. He already pitched a tough outing in Colorado at Coors Field. Went 5 2/3 innings, gave up just 1 run on 2 hits, had 6 strikeouts in that game. Like I said, this for me, maybe it's a pure fade of Jameson Taillon more than anything else. But I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Reds at plus 145. They looked really good on Friday. Maybe it was because of the strong start from Hunter Green. But I like the Cincinnati Reds here. I like the plus money. I'm just not laying plus minus 170 with Jameson Taillon in any alternate universe. So give me the Cincinnati Reds here.
Gotta say, let's see if I can. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I do not understand the love for Taillon. The Cubs are not hitting the baseball at all either. I'm on the alternate reverse run line here with the Reds in this thing. They absolutely smoked the Cubs yesterday, and I think they smoke them again here.
Yeah, I mean, look at pretty much last month for the Cincinnati Reds, playing 500 baseball last 30 games, 15-15. The Cubs, falling, can't get up. 3-7 in their last 10, 10-20 in their last 30. Yeah.
I love in the comments how everyone's like saying, "Hey, I bet Chinese baseball."
Tell you, man, you never lived until you bet Madden simulated football. It was those were still remember the Bundesliga and the freak out behind the scenes. I don't want to do Bundesliga soccer anymore. Belarus soccer.
Everything's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine.
He puts head on his shoulder, starts rubbing his head. It's gonna be okay. It's fine. Shh.
It's fine.
Shh.
It's okay.
Oh man, yeah, those were the days.
What are you selling today at Pick Dogs?
Today got a $19 NHL power play, my favorite play from that Golden Knights and Stars game tonight. Also got a 3-pack from MLB, my Saturday MLB triple play, and also got all the long-term packages as well. This is the best time to hop on. Got a bonus NHL and NBA play in there for long-term subscribers as well.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and make it a winning day. Appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow, and of course, Monday through Friday, which Chris Ruffolo will be. Chris Ruffolo, Tiki ran.
Tricky ran.
Tiki ran. We're not even going to give it the tricky. Tiki ran. Make it a winning day, everyone. We appreciate each and every one of you. Sure to check out our premium picks. Use the discount code PICK. Get 15% off. And as Rod said,